Welcome to 321 No Kidding, everybody. Bobbie the Awesome here. The weekend is wrapping up in upstate New York. It is Sunday night. It's Monday morning for a lot of my worldwide friends out there. So hello to everybody. We are on the letter R. And I'm happy with a couple of the choices that showed up. But before I get into those R words, I'm going to ask for your help with some other R words. Ratings and reviews, guys. If you could just take a second to, drop a star, drop a little note about how you feel about the show. You can do it anonymously. That's okay. I don't ask for this every day. I do ask for it sporadically. And just so you understand the value of it is I'm just trying to get in front of gamblers who may not know that we exist. And if you're finding that the show is helpful, I want to help other people too. So that's why I do ask when I do ask. So I appreciate you in advance for helping me out with that. Okay, so what do we got? R for recovery, of course. And that is an absolute daily activity. And it's absolutely one that involves taking care of yourself. So it's a perfect one. I love that. The couple that I wanted to dig into a little bit more, one of them is reevaluate. So when we quit gambling, it's like losing someone, like losing our best friend in a lot of cases. And during the course of our gambling, as it got worse, as we got more secretive, as we got more disconnected, as we got a little less, our performance goes down at work. If our mind is, engaged in gambling or in our relationships, just a lot of things are impacted when we go from gambling to not gambling. And I think reevaluating where our life is today when we quit gambling is an amazing exercise. And if you're still gambling, reevaluate it now, because chances are you probably haven't paid attention to where you are in life if you're still gambling, right? Because you're focused on gambling. That's the whole addiction piece of it. So as I've shared with you, this is kind of one of my ways of reevaluating how I feel about things and my growth and where my life is and was. And gosh, I don't know if it's because of the Tony Robbins thing or because of some of the communications I've had, but just so much has changed. It hasn't even, I don't know. It's just looking at October when I was out of work for surgery. That feels like it was a million years ago now. And I was reminded that I was scrolling through Facebook for something and caught a piece of that. And just me reevaluating my life from fall of 2019 to summer of 2020. And maybe it's because I turned 46 this week. And that is what I feel like is the clear, defined marker of my new life, where I reevaluate my life. I guess it's reevaluate, because I've evaluated it before, and things like the book and some of the other things I'm doing to relinquish the past are all part of that. And now I get to reevaluate where I am today. And then I have a very, very aggressive plan for the next 2 years and the next 4 years and the next 10 years. There's some very, very strategic things that I want to have in place with aggressive timelines. And I'm confident I can do it, but I will continue as I go through my journey to reevaluate where I am here's an example. Let's say that work tells me tomorrow that I have to go back to the office next week. And I start going back to the office and I stop podcasting twice a day with you guys. And I stop just kind of sharing what's on my brain or on my heart for that particular day, whatever shows up. And all of a sudden it's 3 months later, 6 months later, I'm not doing my daily readings. I'm not emptying my bucket if it's negative by sharing with you or being really mindful because I'm accountable to you. I'm not filling my bucket either because I'm not absorbing the readings. I'm not interacting with you. I'm not giving, which fills up my bucket with positive stuff. And if I was to reevaluate my life, even though I wasn't gambling, if all those things happened, it's obviously a very different place and a different mentality that I'm in today. So that's why it's really good to check in with ourselves. Where are we? Where do we want to be? Where have we been? Not that we want to hang on to that and fool around with that too much, but we do need it as a benchmark for our progression as we go forward. So I like that word. And then this is my other one, and that ties into that. It wasn't my word, like I stole it from whoever posted it, but it was reinvent. And that's essentially what I'm doing this week. Well, it's what I've been working on doing, and I'm declaring it this week. I'm reinventing myself as, this person who truly lives up to the Bobbie the Awesome name. And it doesn't, not Bobbie the Awesome from ego, but Bobbie the Awesome from genuine self-love and self-devotion and pride for what she's accomplished and just having this beautiful, beautiful life. So back to reevaluating, right? Like I have to evaluate where I am and reevaluate because, like I said, where I was a year ago, where I was 5 years ago are just way different. And I need to, for me, the way I need to handle that is to continue to look at stuff so I can appreciate where I am. And for many, many years, one of my friends / boss / mentors had said that I could reinvent myself in a couple different situations. When I switched jobs a couple different times, when I moved geography and I wasn't going to know anybody, he said that to me. He's like, well, you can now reinvent yourself. And I don't even know if I picked up on that as like, well, what the hell? Are you saying that something was wrong with this self? And he meant it from a career perspective. That was how he knew me, and that was where his advice and stuff came from. It wasn't about the gambling or any of that. Maybe the partying a little. But it was generally, okay, well now if you move to Kansas, no one will know that you were a partier or, that you've done stupid things or said stupid things or grew up from being someone who wanted to wear sweatpants to work to wearing a suit. All that evolution, wherever I landed next, nobody would know because they wouldn't have seen me go through that. And that's kind of what's happening now. Good old sirens. Just wouldn't be this town without them. That's what I say. It's funny. If I dropped and did maybe 5 push-ups for every time a siren went by, I would be a beanpole. I'd be the strongest beanpole, but I would be a beanpole. Maybe that's something I'll try next. But so now my reinvention isn't about my career, although my heart is definitely more into the podcast and the dream and the impact that 321 No Kiddin' will have. It's reinventing my insides almost and reinventing this Bobbie isn't afraid. This Bobbie isn't going to deal with adversity through a bet or through a drink. I might still deal with it through crying and processing, but to have this peace and it's really this crazy, this is what I believe and this is what I came to believe, and it's going to be probably pretty hard for you to totally get what I'm saying, because I don't know that I believe it some of the time, that this actually is where my mindset is. But once I figured out that everything in my life had some value to it, even the adversity, I know that whatever adversity comes my way now has value as well, and that I end up where I'm supposed to end up. So I don't have to be afraid anymore. I just don't have to be afraid. I know I'll process things with my little bucket theory, which is the most bizarre way of explaining things. And thank you for evolving into that with me as we chat, but it's the best visual I can come up with. And it's motivating to me to keep emptying my bucket of the shit and just keep filling it with the good stuff. And that's why I'm not afraid of the worst of the worst. I don't even know what the worst thing that could possibly happen to me is right now. I honestly can't. Maybe something with my health, but even that, I would believe it's happening the way it's supposed to happen. Like, I could see that causing pain or discomfort, but I honestly cannot think of what the worst thing that could happen. If I was to lose my job, I would be okay with that. If I had losses of people, I've already been dealing with that, and with my bucket principle and with how I live my life and trying to pay attention and show up for people before they're gone, even that isn't as bad as it used to be. So yeah, like I said, maybe it could sound really woo-woo out there, but because I try to practice gratitude every day, because I thank people and tell them I love them and smile on the streets and do a lot of these things that just make me feel good. I've already been reinvented on some level. I'm just declaring it this week because I'm going into, this is what I call my midlife, 45. Yeah, I think I'll live till I'm 90. I got a lot of work to do from now until I'm like 70. Then I'll retire and have 20 years to run around and goof off. Meet a couple cabana boys or something as I travel the world and the beaches. I don't know. We'll see. So that's reinvent, reevaluate. I love that so many people put rejuvenate and rest and R&R, rest and relaxation. It's a Sunday. Sunday should be kind of a chill day. Feels like it should be a chore day in some cases too. And I'm actually just feeling that way because I'm on my 4th day off and I haven't done so much domesticated stuff. I've done a lot of thinking stuff, but there's some opportunity to clean and putter before the week starts. But I'm probably not going to do that tonight if I'm being honest. So, all right, beautiful people. Thank you for letting me ramble about the letter R. I'll again put it out there. Ratings and reviews, please. They are a big help for getting us to reach more gamblers. And yeah, that's what I got for tonight, wherever we are. It kind of all runs together some days. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I probably won't be super early because I took the day off to recuperate from the conference this weekend and to do things like putter on household chores and do some work stuff for no kidding. So I will talk to you in the morning whenever I get up. All right. Thanks, beautiful people. And you're well understood.